All right, so now that you've found your sources, you are going to create your works cited. This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to create correct works cited entries for your various sources. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab, so the OWL. You can just Google Purdue OWL, it'll take you here. This is the main page. From here, you are going to want to go on, click on Research and Citation, and then MLA Style. You're going to then want MLA Formatting and Style Guide. And then we're going to be using these various pages along the side here that say Works Cited pages in various formats. Primarily, we're going to be using the Works Cited electronic sources. All right, now, depending on what you're citing, the way you cite it is going to be different. The majority of what you are going to cite is either going to be a magazine article, a newspaper article, or a journal article. In any case, it is going to be something that is found in a database. So all of the sources that you get from SIRS, from the Point of View Reference Center, or from the Gale database, those are all from an online database. And they are all going to follow these formats. You're going to have a Google Doc open, ready to go. Remember, when you're creating a works cited, it is started with the title Works Cited, both words capitalized, centered in your page. Then you're going to come over and start your entry with your left indent. It's got a cite here at the bottom, however, this is in MLA7 format. This is not correct. Do not copy. If you use this at the bottom, you will lose points. This is not correct. So our author's name is Monty Shaw. So we're going to have Shaw, comma, Monty, period. So the next thing in our entry is the title of the actual article. So the title of our actual article is Fuel Standard is Sound Policy. One trick you can use if your article title is really long is to copy it, start with your quotation marks because that's what you need to do, and then paste. But uh-oh, look, it doesn't fit formatting. Well, Google Docs has this nifty little function. If you highlight the formatting that you want to keep, and then you click on your little paint roller up here, and then you paint roll over the bad stuff, it makes it match your formatting for everything else. Okay, Purdue then includes next the title of the original source that it was printed in. So this is going to be the title of the newspaper, the title of the magazine, the title of the journal, something like that. So if we go back to our source here, we can see that our original source, our original container that MLA 8 calls it, is USA Today. Your original source is almost always going to be italicized. So after we have our journal title, we're going to have a comma, and then we're going to have what's called other identifying information. So what this part is if it's a journal, it could have a volume and an issue number. Usually if it is a magazine, it won't have that. If it is a newspaper like this, it won't have that either. The next thing that we have is its original publication date. So its original publication date for us is January 21st, 2016. So let's go back to our Google Docs. We're going to have 21 Jan 2016, comma, and then we are going to have our pages. So normally this is going to be a page number range, but since ours originally came from a newspaper, our page number range is A7. Then we have a period because that's the end of everything from that source. Next, we have what's called the second container. The second container is the name of the database. So for our purposes, our second database is the ProQuest SIRS knowledge source. That is also going to be italicized. This is its document identification number. So if this was a website, we'd be putting in the web URL here. So if they don't give us a DOI number for this, you can skip it. We're going to end it with when did we access it? We accessed it today. So, all right. So now you've got your first works cited entry with all of its information included. However, it is still not formatted correctly. You have to do what's called a hanging indent. Now, Google doesn't like doing hanging indents. If you try to tab over, it tabs the top line over. Naughty Google. So what you have to do is trick Google into thinking that this second line is not attached to the first. So you're going to have to hit return to trick it into thinking it's a new line and then tab over. That way you've got your hanging indent indented. Now, works cited entries have to be alphabetical. So that means we're going to have to go above this because R comes before S. So if we look at our guy, let's see, it's Alex Rich. So the hard part about this is that the second name is just completely normal. So David C. Morley. Then we have again our article title. So our article title. This is a situation where copying and pasting and then doing your formatting trick is probably good because we've got a long article title. All right, so then this is the point where we look for the first container that it was contained in. So this is where you would look originally for a newspaper title, a magazine title, a journal title. In this case, it is the Points of View Alternative Energy Exploration. That is our first container title. And remember, this is italicized. So you're going to italicize it. Take your italics off, comma. Now you need to look for the date that it was originally published. So ours was originally published on March 1st, 2016. Now we want, what page was it on? It was on page 2, and it was only 1 page long. So if it's only 1 page long, you really don't need to do 2-2. That's a little silly. Now you're going to have the second container in which it was contained. So in this case, it is our database. So the Points of View Reference Center. Again, this is italicized. So again, we need to put in our hanging indents. So you put your put your cursor on the second line, hit enter or return to trick it into thinking that that's a new line, and then tab over 1. Okay. So then your second line, you're also going to have to either hit return, and look, it automatically tabs it over on its own. Alright, so let's go back to our source, and we're going to know that it is a journal article because it has a volume number and a number. So this is going to start out the same as all of our other sources, where we start out with our author's last name. So again, we have to make sure we're getting this in alphabetical order. And then our article title. One thing that's kind of nice is that if it's short enough, it appears in the tab. Also, you can hover over it so that it will appear here. And so we have tilting, we will go. Make sure you're capitalizing everything correctly, identically to the article title. Okay, this one's interesting because it has a punctuation mark. It has a question mark as part of the title. Punctuation goes inside the quotation mark, period goes outside of it. Then we're going to have our journal title italicized. So our journal title is the National Review. Now we need to work in our volume and issue number. So our volume and issue, volume 60, issue number 15. Now we also need our original publication date. So we've got our volume and our issue publication date, August 18th, 2008. And next are page numbers. So our page numbers are 35 through 38. And then we have our period. Next we have our second container, which again is this ProQuest SIRS knowledge source. And that's italicized. So again, do not, no, do not use this. This is MLA 7. This is incorrect formatting. Do not use this. That's why I'm showing you what to do. Can just go straight to when we access this. Accessed on 13 October 2016, period. And again, we want to tab over and do our hanging indent. Another point is that works cited entries are double spaced. So you're going to want to double space all of these, except that you do not need to double space between the actual entries. So this is what your works cited should look like.